Nissan Skyline GTR R34, Brian O'Connor. This is the car that made Brian O'Connor an icon in this franchise, and it almost didn't happen. Early on, the production was set to put him behind the wheel of a Dodge Neon SRT, for instead. Let that sink in. The most famous Japanese hero car in the whole series was one decision away from being a Neon. Under the hood, a 2.6-liter twin-turbo straight-six, the RB26DTT. Nissan officially rated it at 276 horsepower, because Japanese manufacturers had a gentleman's agreement to all report the exact same number no matter what their cars actually made. Independent testing puts the real figure closer to 320, maybe 330 horsepower. This is the car that opens the entire movie, wins the first street race, gets shut down mid-chase by a U.S. Customs ESD Harpoon, and gets impounded before Brian's even out of the driver's seat. One race. That's all the screen time it gets. It's still the car everybody remembers first. Toyota Supra Mk4, Slapjack. Most people write this off as background noise in that opening race. It's not. This is the car that almost beat the Skyline. Under the hood is the 2JZ GTE, a twin-turbo 3.0-liter straight-six, making around 320 horsepower stock. The same engine famous enough to survive four-digit horsepower numbers on its factory internals. In the film, it's neck and neck with Brian all the way to the bridge jump, until the gearbox lets go on landing. And here's the part most fans miss. This exact Supra was recycled from the first movie, just wearing a new body kit and graphics, plus a plexiglass hood so you can actually see the engine running underneath. It never wins the race, but it's the only car in the whole movie that genuinely challenges the hero car. Mazda RX 7FD Orange Julius. Here's the twist nobody clocks on a first watch. This car used to be red. It's Dominic Toretto's RX 7 from the first Fast and the Furious, repainted orange and handed off to a background racer. Under the hood, a twin-rotor 13B, no pistons, just two triangular rotors spinning inside a housing, which is why it sounds like nothing else on this list. And Orange Julius does the least heroic thing in the entire movie with it. He pulls up to the bridge jump and just stops. Backs out. Lets Suki take the position instead. The most iconic engine on this list, driven by the only guy in the movie who chickens out. Honda S2000 Suki. Bright pink, full underglow, an all-female crew. And under the paint, one of the most technically ridiculous engines Honda ever put in a road car. A 2.0-liter four-cylinder, making 240 horsepower with zero turbo, zero forced induction, redlining past 9,000 revolutions per minute on nothing but precision. Most people clock Suki as comic relief in a pink car. Actually, she's the one driver in that opening race who doesn't flinch. When Orange Julius bails on the jump right in front of her, she just takes his line and lands it herself. Chevrolet Monte Carlo, Roman Pierce. Before any of that, Roman Pierce. Not in a tuner car. In a beat-up 1970s Chevrolet Monte Carlo, spray-painted black, red and white, hand-painted teeth on the grille, kicking out his own windshield mid-derby in Barstow, California, while on house arrest. This car tells you everything about who Roman is before he says a single word. Broke, angry, and driving whatever's still running by the end of the night. Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7, Brian O'Connor. Once the real mission starts, Brian gets handed a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7, painted a color so loud it needed its own name, Candy Lime Gold Candy. Here's the fact almost nobody knows. Mitsubishi wasn't even selling the Evo 7 in America at the time. These cars were flown in directly from Japan, left-hand drive, originally built for a rally team in Austria that never used them. So the loudest American tuner movie car on this entire list technically shouldn't have been road legal in the US in 2003. It's running a 2.0-liter turbo 4 rated at the same 276 horsepower, gentleman's agreement, number as the Skyline, full-time all-wheel drive, and it's the car behind one of the film's most replayed bits, Brian reversing it at full speed during the race to reach Veyron's impounded Ferrari. Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider GTS, Roman Pierce. Roman's assigned car for the same job, a purple Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider GTS convertible. Ask any fan and they'll tell you. This is the least loved car in the whole franchise. It's not slow, it's not ugly by 2003 standards, it's just permanently overshadowed standing next to a lime green Evo in every single scene. Both cars are undercover vehicles. Both are secretly wired with tracking devices neither Brian nor Roman knows about. And the second that gets discovered, both of them get ditched on purpose for something with a lot more attitude. Ferrari 360 Spider, Carter Veyron. Which brings in Carter Veyron's red Ferrari 360 Spider. It barely drives in this movie. It's sitting in an impound lot the entire time. But it's arguably the most important car in the plot, because Veyron uses it as a test. Whoever reaches that impounded Ferrari first and grabs the package hidden in the glove box gets hired as his wheelman. A Ferrari, reduced to the prize in a scavenger hunt, and it's still the car that decides who becomes the film's two lead characters. 1969 Yenko Camaro SYC, Brian O'Connor. So once Brian and Roman decide to double-cross Veyron, step 1 is ditching the bugged cars. Step 2, Brian challenges two of Veyron's own guys, Corpy and Darden, to a quarter-mile, loser-hands over the keys drag race. Brian wins Corpy's 1969 Yenko Camaro. The film treats it as a 425-horsepower big-block monster, and that number checks out. The real Yenko package was a factory Copo 427 rated at 425 horsepower straight from the dealership floor in 1969. Jimmy the mechanic wires it with a passenger ejector seat, just a half-empty bottle of NOS rigged under the seat, meant to let Brian launch Veyron's henchman out of the car mid-chase. It jams at the worst possible second instead. Brian closes the movie out by driving the Camaro off a pier, landing directly on top of Veyron's escaping yacht. It doesn't survive. It goes out as the loudest, dumbest, most rewatched stunt in the entire franchise. 1970 Dodge Challenger R/T, Roman Pierce. Same drag race, same night. Roman wins Darden's 1970 Dodge Challenger R/T, the orange one, which he calls dibs on before the race has even started. Behind the scenes, the production bought 9 Camaros and 6 Challengers for the shoot, all of them already rough before filming even started, because nobody was putting a real numbers-matching muscle car through a stunt sequence. Roman's car gets the same NOS-powered ejector seat as Brian's, except his actually works, launching Veyron's other henchman clean out of the car. Roman ends up ramming the Challenger straight into the side of Veyron's Lincoln to save Brian's life. It doesn't make it to the credits either. So here's what actually ties every car on this list together. Every single one of them is a status upgrade for whoever's driving it. Roman goes from a duct-tape derby beater to an undercover spider he never chose, to a Challenger he specifically called dibs on and won with his own hands. Brian goes from a Skyline that gets seized in the first 10 minutes, to an Evo he's assigned, to a Camaro he raced for and earned. Every swap in this movie is really the story of two guys clawing their way from assigned to earned, and that split was deliberate. The production built this film half around Japanese tuners and half around American muscle specifically, so it wouldn't just replay the first movie's subculture. It needed to pull in a completely different audience, too. It worked. On a $76 million budget, this movie made $236 million worldwide and turned Roman and Tej into two of the most enduring characters in the entire franchise. Which one of these should have gotten more screen time? Tell me in the comments. Like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.